What's up, everybody? This is the famous Slackers tier list. Okay, I want to make sure everybody understands this is not personal. I love each and every one of you, but I think we needed an in-depth breakdown of the tier list within our local meta. There are a lot of players that put in tons of hours on Lorcanito, on Pixelborn Connect. A lot of people that put in-game playtesting, and so none of this is a testament to who you are as a person. It's just who you are as a player, and that's okay. So let's get into it. So first, let me explain the tiers. So first, we have threat. Okay, those are people that will always, always, always put up a top 8 performance. They will almost never miss top 8 within local stuff, and then when it comes to regional stuff, they can put up numbers, cash out prizes, things like that. Those are people that are always threats. When you sit across from the table, you know that your wins from them you're gonna earn. Next is sweats. Those are people that maybe you've got 50-50 game against, but you know that those games are going to be difficult, they're going to be challenging, and those are people that even if they don't quite get top 8, they're only missing out by one, maybe two seats. They're always really good at the game, they understand the mechanics, maybe they're even judges, but they're people that can put up consistent numbers. Threat, so to understand the difference, threat is somebody that's going to always top, sweat is somebody that's going to always put up numbers. Okay, next we have easy as it gets. Those are people that when you sit across from the table, you know that you are favored 75 to 80% of the time. You're not going to get easier matchups next to getting buys and people playing pet decks. Those are easy as it gets. And last, who never met. Those are people they don't just not show up in Lorcana brackets. They don't show up at all. Um, so yeah. So without being said, I have a list of everybody. We're gonna go over it real quick, get into everybody and their performances, and we're gonna rank their performance. So first up, we have the man, the myth, the legend. We have Corbin Hurley. Now Corbin is a monster with Ruby Purple. I mean, understands his outs, understands how to pilot the deck, understands how to win with the deck. Dude is a monster with Ruby Purple. However, I agree with Kendall's assessment. He is a coward. He switched to Green Steel. He switched to Ruby Purple. He has switched to Amber Steel Hyper Aggro. Dude just can't stick with a deck. But funny thing, if he gets a loss, and if that loss is DJ, or if he has a rough game and DJ talks shit, man, Corbin's rattled. That's as easy as it gets. I can't say much else about it. It's just easy to get in his beautiful little red head. Next up, we have Blake. Now, Blake, I just watched Blake win a top 8. Dude was a monster piloting hyper aggro. He is amazing. I don't know. He came from some obscure position as a dad of a family, and now he is everybody's daddy. I mean, with that deck, he has made you all his daddy, so he should be a threat. However, sometimes he gets in the chamber and decides, you know what, I don't want to play hyper aggro. Let me play a different color combination of hyper aggro, and I think that puts him as a sweat. You know, winning one time doesn't make you a threat, but it's winning multiple times. But I would say he puts up consistent numbers uh, until he gets talking to Brandon and for whatever reason decides he wants to play Purple Steel and then hates it. So we're going to put him as easy as it gets. Pick a deck and stick to it, man. Struggling out here. Hannah. Now listen, Hannah is a beast when it comes to Amber Steel. All right, she understands the matchups. She understands when to wheel. She's great with it. Problem is she gets bored, so that puts her in a sweat category. Also, if you want to beat Hannah, the best way to do it is put in cards in your deck that make her do math. Cards like Sisu, cards that discard where you have to ask her how many cards are in your hand. If she sees a deck that has resist creatures and she has to do math if let her the Storm Rage on is going to kill it or not, I mean, you've gotten her head. For a person that is a teacher, man, she really struggles with mathematics. So we're going to put her as easy as it gets. Hannah, I'm sorry. I wish there was a hooked on phonics for math. Next, we got Christina. Now, if you ask Christina, Christina would be in the easy as it gets category. But she just recently put up a top 8 finish for the first time, and I think that earns her a spot firmly as a sweat. However, when me and her get paired against each other, for whatever reason, she just concedes to me and gives it to me, and I don't know who be giving games away, but that puts you as a sweat, Christina. I mean, as easy as it gets, Christina. I'm sorry. You can't be giving games away. What can I say? Austin, though. We got Austin. Austin is such a good pilot and deck builder. Um, but he struggles with wanting to show up. Not with showing up. He struggles with wanting to show up. He's got some badass kids he's got to deal with. In fact, if you want to tell Austin, all you got to do is mention those kids. And he's going to be firmly as easy as it gets. Now, here's the thing. Come summertime, I think we might see him firmly back at threat. But until then, Austin, man, Valium's work, brother. And so does weed. Maybe some weed will get you back on the A game. All right. This next one's going to be a little controversial. But I think she is the bracket villain. I think Cassidy Veach is the person to beat when it comes to Lorcana. I can't beat her. I've never beaten her. Not in the last 2 set champs. I won 1 set champ because she literally wanted the second place mat. I don't know who be giving games away. You know what? She should be a threat, but she's going to be a sweat for that. She just be giving games away. And I don't know why she does that. If she gets paired against DJ, matter of fact, you know what? For DJ, that's as easy as it gets, man. Like, who pairs up against their spouse and then their spouse is like, hey, you want to quit Lorcana and go get head? I mean, that's an easy life right there. So that's easy as it gets, Cass. Sorry. Do better. Stop giving games away. Also, she does really well at tournaments where DJ is judging. Is there a coincidence? Conspiracy? I don't know, man. Just saying. All right. Now we've got one of the best Lorcana players. This person has been putting up monster numbers lately. I'm very proud of them. That's Caden. Caden is quite phenomenal. He's quite spicy with that Amber Steel Fossa. I mean, the dude is great, right? He should be threat. But every now and then we see this version of Caden kind of appear where he wants to play these little fun decks, or he sticks Mufasa or Perdita in a deck that doesn't belong. I don't know. And for that reason, he belongs in sweat. Actually, you know what? This version of Austin or of Caden goes into who never met. Cause where's that guy, man? You can grow your beard back now. I think it's time, Caden. I think you're ready, brother. But for this guy, we're gonna put you in easy as it gets too, man. Like, who puts Perdita in Steel Fossa? That's just nutty, man. You gotta do better. You gotta do better. All right. Now we got Dennis. And Dennis, listen, I don't give a fuck about Lorcana. Dennis is staying firmly in the threat category. I mean, look at him, man. This dude, when it comes to anime cons and anime chicks, this dude is right here firmly in the threat category because he's slanging it, man. I mean, look at him. That picture, he rolling in it. But if you mention that about him, he can't play the game, and for that reason, he's going to go into easy as it gets as well. No offense. Now, this next person you might not have seen in a while, but Brett, you were a monster of a pilot when it came to Blue Steel. I mean, the guy understood when to wheel, when not to wheel, even though he really wouldn't listen to us when we told him that wheel was not the way to go in the meta. So I think that put him as a sweat. I mean, really, truly. Unless it's me, and he can't beat me either. So that would I would downgrade him a little bit. But some of y'all have never even met Brett. Nikki kind of replaced him, and now Brett just kind of sits in Vegas being sad missing us. So Brett's going to go in the who never met category, and I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. Who else we got on this list? We got some cool people. Let me scroll down so you can see the tier. There we go. All right, let's talk about my favorite subject, me. Now, I've put up some consistent numbers ever since I started playing Lorcana. I have one of every single set champs promo, at least one. But the problem is I like to play pet decks too, and I'm a ride or die Steel Song even when it's bad, so I'm going to put myself in the sweat category. I got to be fair. Of course, if I'm focused on the fact that I got to pair against Cass and Corbin and DJ or my wife all in one night, that's as easy as it gets, man. I'm not even winning a pin that night. So I'm going to put me in the easy as it gets category as well. Just because I don't be focusing on Lorcana as much as I want to be. All right. Now, April should be strongly, firmly in the sweat category. She plays Ruby Amethyst. She's learning it. She just finished 9th at her last set champs. I think those numbers are admirable. She is consistently good. But she would say she's like second place or first place loser. So because of that, because of how bad she talks about herself, we're gonna put her as easy as it gets. Ain't nobody beating her as much as she beats her. All right. Now I got Brandon. My opinion, Brandon is hands down the best red blue player, red blue pilot in Augusta. All right, in our meta, there's nobody that understands red blue better than him. However, for whatever reason, he makes really weird, strange deck decisions. So we'd put him in the sweat. But then if he loses to somebody he thinks he shouldn't lose to, or God forbid you open with a daisy, he's just going to concede on turn one. And that's just kind of unheard of. So because of that, you're going to go into easy as it gets to. Now, DJ has put up great numbers in and out of Augusta. He's really good at bullying people when it comes to green steel. Even his own girlfriend doesn't want to play against him when he's playing green steel. I think that's admirable, man. Like any deck that makes you question your life partner, that's a deck you want to be playing, right? But you know, he's really a lot of the times better at talking shit to Corbin than he is at playing. So we're gonna put him in sweat. Unless we all decided to show up cosplaying as Andrew Kopesh playing red blue, in which case, easy as it gets, man. There's nothing that I've seen get DJ more tilted than Andrew. So if we all came into Lorcana one night acting like Andrew, slow playing, I think DJ would we would literally be his 13th, 14th, and 15th reason. So for that, easy as it gets. All right, then we got Ansley. Ansley's in the bottom left-hand corner if you can't see. Ansley also puts up great numbers, but she even admitted today that she doesn't care about cards being good. She likes how they're pretty. And I think that statement alone just puts you in the easy as it gets. Now you got somebody that's near and dear to my heart. We got Pat. And by the way, I think this is a fantastic picture of Pat. Pat is, if we were talking about trolling, number one person in the CSRA. If we're talking about deck building, number one person in the CSRA. He should be the threat. And every time I'm against him, I know it's going to be a rough game. I know he puts up numbers. He's prized. He's cash prized, just like Corbin has, and we'll get into Corbin in a minute. But he ain't been to league in like, I don't know, man, like 2 months. So we're going to put you in who? Never met category, man. Like, where you been? Where you been? And for that same reason, Danielle with Blurple, monster of a pilot. She even looks like she should be a threat. Unfortunately, she doesn't like to play test. We're supposed to be going to a tournament this week. She didn't play test. So, you know what? Shame, shame, shame. You haven't been to league in forever. You go in the who? Never met category. I would have, though, on this next person, Nicole, I would have put her in who never met, but I met her and realized that she's a lawyer. So I think for that reason alone, she should go into easy as it gets. I think she should get an upgrade for the simple fact that if I say anything disparaging, she could sue me. And I think that's worth note. Next, you got Courtney. Now, Courtney is one of those people that will annoy the shit out of you when it comes to your bracket because you've come prepared for blue red, ruby purple, amber steel, steel song, green steel. You're ready. You're like, my deck can't lose. And then you lose to her jank ass hyper aggro deck. She puts up numbers with it. She's crazy good. I don't understand. So I would put her in threat. But she's also been gone. Like last night was like the first time she's been in a league in forever. So for that, Courtney, you go into who? Never met. Now, if we were talking about dress and the way somebody looks, Richard's a threat, man. I mean, just look at him. That dude's a model. That dude should be modeling for Ravensburger. Like, should be on all the promotional materials. But we all know we're not talking about that. So let's talk about his game style. Well, Richard has proven that he can pick up a deck like green purple or ruby purple or red blue and put up monster numbers. The dude is great. I've said monster like 32 times. I should do a monster count here. But he can put up really good numbers. For that reason, I respect him as a player. However, he's obsessed with making Jafar great again. So because of that, that's easy as it gets, man. Play him at a deck or don't play at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now we got Nikki. Nikki also has put up great numbers in and around Augusta, outside of Augusta, in Atlanta. He's prized at major events. He came in second at a 1K. Maybe he came in fourth. I don't know. All I know is this is important. He was on stream and he looked damn good playing Steel Fossa. So that should put him as a threat. He's beaten me consistently. I beat him consistently. So maybe sweat. But some of y'all don't even know who he is because he ain't been here. So until August comes, he's going to be in the who never met category. I think I got two more. I got Adrian. And Adrian, we know, is a great pilot. She likes to play some janky decks. So, I mean, sweat, because definitely when I show up at an event, I get paired against her. I know it's going to be a rough day. I know that she could just come out of nowhere and win. Unfortunately, I haven't seen Adrian in like a decade, so Adrian's going to go on who never met category either. I think it's fair to say that the only person who's a true threat in Augusta is Earl Meister. I mean, the sheer mention of his name will send Corbin into hysterics. Um, Corbin, you look good, man, and easy as it gets. I think you look good sleeping, but that picture is not of him sleeping. That's him fainting from exhaustion from trying to figure out how to beat such an amazing megatonic player like Earl Meister. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I think we learned something that Earl Meister is the only threat in the CSRA. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. I love y'all. Peace.